So this is a quick presentation on how you can use DelegateEbeansErver to capture save events. So here we've got some beans and we're doing a save, and then we want to do some asserts against what's happened. So assert that certain beans were saved. The save method call was called 5 times. So if you include EbeanORM-mocker as a test dependency, then you can get DelegateEbeanServer, and you can also get MockiEbean. So first of all, DelegateEbeanServer, a lot of the time you'll run tests against a fully functional Ebean server that's, say, using a H2 as an in-memory database. What DelegateEbeanServer does is it provides a front end to that, where certain functionality can be passed through to the underlying Ebean server or not. And in this case, the default, by default, persisting methods such as save and delete are not actually passed through. So in our case, we're using H2 for our testing, and so those saves and deletes won't actually go through to the H2 database. What MockiEbean does is swaps out or uses this instance of Ebean server as the default Ebean server during the execution of our run here, which is our test. So this mock could be, something that you create yourself. Could be, you could use Mockito or whatever. But in this case, we'll be using our DelegateEbean server. And so this instance becomes the default Ebean server within this execution of this run here. So what have we got here? We've got some beans, foo, bar, etc. And we're going to save them. So go foo, save, etc. And we've also got these other two methods here, which highlight that these 5 methods are all doing the same things. They're all basically going to go through to the default Ebean server instance and call save. And then we're going to do some asserts. So we assert that the beans that were sent to save contains foo, bar, baz, etc. And that the save method was called 5 times. So if we run this test, we'll note that in terms of the SQL, we actually don't see those insert statements. So let's actually put mock persisting true and rerun our test. So when we do this, what we'll see here is we've got insert statements. We've got 5, and we can see that we've got foo, bar, baz, etc. inserted into our H2 in-memory database. So the thing to point out here is that when you use DelegateEbeanServer, the beans that go through to the save are called captured beans, and that will occur whether we actually go through to the H2 database or not. So it's really a separate issue as to, with persisting true or false, whether those calls actually end up in the H2 database. So by default, there's no persisting. So when you go save and delete, etc., those aren't actually going to go through to, in our case, the underlying H2 database. The other thing that I would like to point out here is that if we go down to another test here we're using insert methods and we're using a save method. So when we say insert and when we say save, the inserts, for example, are going into captured beans insert. So here we can see that foo and bar were inserted, and save contains baz, so the baz instance was saved. And similarly, in terms of method calls, our insert method was called twice, and our save method was called once. So that is a quick rundown on using DelegateEbeanServer. And I think we've covered everything I wanted to cover. Thanks.